So there is one thing that I do want to get your opinion on. This
Okay.
is a big one.
Okay.
Health and fitness.
Oh. Okay.
What is
Why are you laughing?
because we don't talk about this too often,
Okay.
but you know it's important.
Mhm.
We are starting to walk now, so
Yeah,
that's a good thing.
that's good.
But what's your opinion on health, fitness, and marriage? How important is that in marriage, or is it important at all?
It depends on what your goals are as a couple. I think for us it's important because we talked about what we want like our later years to look like, and we want to maintain the agility and be active and all of those things. So in order to do that, I mean, we've got to be healthy. So
You said later years.
as you age,
Okay.
you can up there. So the more you age, you need to that's one of the things that we're focusing on now, with the journaling that I do is for your health. And in that process, we are actually talking, if you will, to our 90-year-old selves, like really getting a perspective from a higher perspective as to what we want our latter years to look like. And so fitness for a couple is very important.
Right.
If that's your goal. I mean, if some couples just had that goal where we gonna retire and I ain't doing nothing, and that's what some people do, but that's not what I envision, for us.
The reason I asked that is because, we're pretty, relatively young, and it's something that we're looking to increase because, I'm sure you don't want to be that older. Let me frame this the right way. You don't want to be the elderly wife who's taking care of her husband,
Okay.
and vice versa. I mean, it's a
Okay.
Where am I going with this?
I don't know. You treading that real. No, but I mean, I get what you're saying, and I think we each bear a responsibility one to another to take the best care of ourselves. I mean, things happen, so that's not what we're saying. We know that life happens, but if there are things that you can do now to circumvent a lot of those things, if we can become more active, cut back on the alcohol, cut back on the poor diet, do things that stimulate our brains, things that, I mean, that's the thing. When you know that a person is doing their best, then you have less of an aversion to really supporting them. Like, know that, gosh, they've done everything that they can do. So, this is just something that happened. But if you see somebody just like taking their lives for granted and just, doing those types of things, then that's where it gets a little sticky because it's almost like you're saying to me that I'm going to shave off 10 years of my life because I'm not going to take care of myself, but then I'm going to take 10 years of yours too because you're going to have to take care of me.
No, that's
I think that's very selfish.
That's exactly what I was. That's exactly what I was
Don't worry
saying.
about it. I'm going to take 10 of mine, but he can give me 10 of his. So
it's almost like you pulling me down. No, but we're laughing, but it's a very serious subject, and I think as a couple, whether you're married or not married, I mean, it's something to really consider. If you're going into a marriage, it's something, so we've talked about routines, we've talked about habits, and this is one that, every married couple should discuss and really take seriously but no one wants to be that 60 or 70-year-old person caregiving for their spouse, full time. I mean, it's like, it happens, and like you said, there are going to be situations where you can't get around that, but there are many cases where it could have been avoided, by just simple staying active, eating better.
And I think that is the marriage tip for today. Just make sure that as a couple, you actually discuss and begin to determine what it is that you have to do to live the most healthy life you can together and individually,
right.
so that as we do age, as we do grow older, we know that things are going to happen, but we want to make sure that we're in the best place at the time.
Yeah, that's true. So we walking later?
Yeah, we're walking later.
All right.
And if we're doing it, you can do it too.